man, what have we got ourselves into here? Because it was kind of pricey.
Every time you came back, they were out. It seemed like if you came back the next day, they were out again. Everyone around here fights sickness, scours, and whatever else as far as sickness. That is a big thing.
We was looking for something to help control the scours, and then, like I said, get into the summer, we was wanting something that we didn't have to have so much attention on. And then I was kind of like him. I would forget to take mineral with me when I went to check cows. It was getting to be a hassle.
If you didn't check them just religiously, they were always out of mineral. Every time you came back, they were out. It seemed like if you came back the next day, they were out again. Either they weren't getting what they needed, or there was no control. They were just going up there eating a mouthful even if they didn't need it.
Get into the fall where we're turning out on stalks and stuff like that, using protein tubs, it seemed like it was getting pretty costly because they would go through them pretty quick.
I had heard about it mostly on the videos from Facebook of other farmers talking about it and their success, and I wanted to try it just to see if we could up our herd health and help with conception, and it's something easier that we could just put out and just almost forget about it, not have to worry about doing it every single day and making sure they had mineral. Put something out and check it once in a while and know that they were always going to have something there.
If we can make it easier and less time consuming on us, we thought we'd see if we could give it a try.
Kind of our first trial, we had one set of cows that was on corn stalks. They were really good corn stalks, and they were on an old protein tub, and they were never happy. They were always looking for more. And then we had a different set of cows on Riomax. They were on Milo stalks that were decent, but they weren't anything special, and they were just happy as could be all the time. You go out into the field, and they'd be clear on the other side, could care less if anybody was there.
I think the first round of tubs, they ate 8 ounces a day. And, we was thinking, man, what have we got ourselves into here? Because it was kind of pricey. But then after that, they settled in, and they was eating about the right amount, somewhere between 4 and 5 ounces. It tells me that they was lacking something. They needed something.
If they go through the very first tub that fast, then whatever we were giving them before was not what they needed, or enough of what they needed anyways.
Cows were happy. Happy cows, a full cow, and if they're happy, they're making you money usually.
They were never chasing you around looking for feed, the ones that were on the Milo stalks. When we would go out and look at them, and when we hauled them home, their manure was like there was nothing left in it. It was just clean as could be. There was no big chunks like normal. And the cows on the corn stalks, they were not happy. Like anytime you went out there, they were looking for food.
Their manure was piling up. That tells me that they were low on protein and maybe even some other minerals. And the ones that were on Riomax, that was more of a even consistency.
In years past, we were giving the cows absolutely everything they needed, the best everything, corn, distillers, everything. And this year we had backed off considerably on the corn, and we cut out all the distillers. They didn't get a mouthful of distillers this year.
I was spending $10,000, $15,000 a year in distillers, and to cut that out and still have the cows healthy.
When our heifers started calving, the calves would come out and they'd jump up within 10 or 15 minutes. I had all kinds of energy, and then once the cow got them cleaned off, they were as glossy black as can be. They just looked shiny. Everyone around here fights sickness, scours, and whatever else as far as sickness. That is a big thing for me that we saw.
We treated 1 or 2 for scours, but nothing like we've been doing.
In years prior, we'd been treating calves left and right. You'd go out there, and at least 2 or 3 times a week we were treating a calf for scours. That's worth a ton. I don't know what to put a dollar figure to it, but it's worth a lot.
Anytime you have to treat a calf, you're going to lose some money, even on the calf side, as well as the time consumption of it.
All the other benefits are great, but the health of the animals is a huge difference.
This summer on grass, I think it is paying for itself to use them.
Cutting out the expensive feeds like the distillers in the corn, or at least cutting back on them, even if you can't cut them completely out, does make a huge difference on feed costs. And then if you add to the health benefits, that would all goes towards it paying for itself.